Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Amrita, you're audible, ma'am.
A very good morning to everyone. On behalf of the Sona College of Technology, Department of Civil Engineering, I take this opportunity to welcome all our guest speakers and the participants to this one-week faculty development program on the extremely relevant topic of the times, digital transformation trends in construction industry, sponsored by AICTE Training and Learning Academy. Now, moving forward, joining us today is an amazing visionary and an extraordinary intellectual, Dr. B. Prabu. Sir is currently working as the Assistant Professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, Sona College of Technology, Salem, Tamil Nadu. He has teaching and research experience of more than 10 years. Sir is a man of virtue and simplicity. Sir completed his doctoral degree in the field of geopolymer concrete in Anna University, Chennai. He secured university rank in master's degree. Sir has received funds from various funding agencies like the TNSCST, IEI, and DST-SERB for organizing programs. Sir has been invited as a keynote speaker in various funded seminars. Sir has published more than 40 papers in international and national level journals, conferences, and magazines. His research areas are geopolymer concrete, special concrete, fiber reinforced concrete, and drone surveying. Sir has guided more than 40 drone projects in UG and PG level. Sir is a lifetime member in professional bodies like IEI, ICI, and ISTE. With this introduction, I proudly present to you our keynote speaker of this hour, Dr. B. Prabu, to highlight the credibility and expertise on the subject, hands-on training on drones. So we welcome you, sir.
So thank you, Amrita. Thanks for your nice introduction. So just 1 second, I will share my screen. So can you able to see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible. Yes, sir, it's visible. You can start, please.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. So before starting my session, I would like to thank the organizing secretary and also the head of the department and Sona College of Technology for giving me this opportunity. So deliver my experience about the drone piloting. I think in first session, Dr. Malati ma'am has explained about what are the digitalization is happening in construction. So the one of the thing is applications of drones in civil engineering. That is in yesterday's session also Mr. Arun Prakash from Aviation Technology. So he has given an outline about in what way we can employ the drone for civil engineering. So especially in today's session, we are going to tell about how drones can be used in surveying, because before 10 years we have used theodolite and other methods for surveying purpose, but later on it has been changed to total session. So in recent era, now we are using this drone technology has been used for the surveying. So this today's session we are going to split into two. The first half of this session will be delivered by me on the topic drone piloting, and the second half of the session will be delivered by Dr. Gulshan Taj. So she is going to discuss about the how the post processing has to be done. What are the softwares we are using? That thing will be explained by Dr. Gulshan Taj ma'am. So in my session, just I'm going to tell you outline about how the piloting has to be done when you are employing the drones for surveying. So it has been given in the offline mode, but due to this pandemic, just we are giving it as an online. So just I'm telling what are the software we are using, what are the options available in normal drone. So how you have to perform the drone pre-processing. So before that, just see this, the two pictures. So before 10 years, if you want to take an aerial photograph, you have to take an helicopter with a pilot and also a cameraman also required. But after the arrival of this drone, the both photographer and the pilot has lost their job. So it is mandatory that you have to upgrade yourself that is with the latest technology. So whenever your latest technology is coming in the field, you have to equip with that, then only you will be the need of the hour. Otherwise, you will be the out of the box. So this is the drone. Drone stands for the dynamic remotely operated navigation equipment, because it is the one type of the UAV, that is the unmanned aerial vehicles. So it don't require any person to fly or anything. Just only a one person is enough to operate the remote. By having that, we can complete the task or complete the whatever project we require. So these are the some of the type of the drone, fixed wing, rotary wing and hybrid type. So it has been explained by in yesterday's session. So with respect to the number of copters which is present in the drone, it is classified into 3 rotors, 4, 6 and 8 rotors. And also if the wings are fixed, it will be called as a fixed wing drone. And also if one rotor is used in the drone, then it will be called as a single rotor helicopter. And also we can made it in the hybrid mode, that is we can have both fixed wing and rotary wing in a single drone, means which is called as a fixed wing hybrid VTOL. Here the VTOL represents the vertical takeoff and landing. So this is the pictorial representation of the different types of drones. So you can see that with respect to the application of the drone, the cost of the drone will be vary. Normally we can use the DJI Panther model drones for our surveying purpose. It will be cost around the $2,000. But with respect to the application, that is nowadays they are using the drone for a different application. For example, they are using for agriculture, they are using for monitoring, that is structural health monitoring, and also sometimes they are using for the spraying of the fertilizers and also the spraying of the disinfectants. With respect to this, the drone cost will be high. So the drone cost will be same. It is increasing with respect to the what type of sensor we are using. So there is a different categories of the sensors available. I will explain you in my upcoming slides. So these are the different categories of the drone with respect to the weight. So this is the very important thing, that is based on these category only you have to get the permission, and some of the restrictions and some of the guidelines has been formed. If your drone falls under the category of nano, micro and small category, there will be some of the relaxation. But if your drone coming under the category of medium and large category, so you have so many restrictions. So you have to you have strictly follow the guidelines given by the DGCA. That is the DGCA is nothing but the Director of General Civil Aviation. So they have given the so many regulations and so many restrictions for flying the drone. So you can see that the what are all the components, what are all the things has been assigned for each category of the drone. So the day operations will be given for all the drones, and also the flight plan is very important term. Whenever you are flying the drone, you have to get the prior permission from the local police station, and also you have to register and you have to get the approval from the digital sky platform. So without that, if you fly your drone, then you will be prison, and also you will be fined up to a 1 lakh. So you can see that you have to get the security clearance except nano category. If you are going to fly a micro, small, medium and large category of drone, you have to get the security clearance, and also it is mandatory. Only a trained pilots have to make the flighting when you are flying the drones falling under the category of small, medium and large categories. So in all the categories of the drone, the operator will be responsible for the all the operations. In case of any incidents or any problems happens, the pilot will be the responsible for the all the incidents. So why we have to use the particularly drones in land surveying? What is the scenario? Why we have to use? So you can see that the surveying operation is not at all an easy one. When it is a flat surface or it is easily accessible, means we can complete the surveying with the traditional method. But when coming to the inaccessible point, or you are not getting the proper permission to conduct your survey, for example, government is undertaking any project or any proposals on their project, some people they will start to protest against that. So in that circumstance, we cannot do the surveying physically by going there. So in that circumference, we can employ the drones for complete the project. The one thing, so these drones will give you a high resolution imageries, and also it is very accuracy. The most advantage of using the drones in land surveying is the first one is risk reduction, and the second one is faster data acquisition. For example, if you want to complete the survey of 10 acres of land by using the total station, so you have to take the readings up to 2 to 3 days. But by employing the drones for that particular work, you can complete the piloting, that is the taking the photograph within the 1 hour, and in post processing you can complete the entire progress within the 3 to 4 hours. So you can get the data within the shorter time. So this is the workflow of drones when you are employing for the surveying. The first one is pre-processing and the second one is post-processing. So in pre-processing, we have to make a flight plan and we have to set a image overlapping. Then we have to flight our drone. Once if you complete these pre-processing, that is in pre-processing, only the drones will fly over the given boundary area and it will start to take the images or videos. Okay, once if it is completed, your pre-processing is over. By having that data, so you have to import into some of the softwares and you have to get the details whatever you required. Normally, what are the details we required when you complete the surveying means you have to calculate the area, you have to make the measurement, that is length and breadth, and you have to we have to create the contours, that is with respect to the reduced level, because once if we know the reduced level, that is the contouring, then only we know how much quantity of the cutting and filling has to be done in the particular area. So that things we can get it in the post processing. For each output we have to use the different softwares, because we cannot complete all the process within the one software itself. That is, we are using the different software, that is the contrast capture, ArcGIS and the QGIS and Pix4D. There will be different softwares are available in the market. So with respect to our requirement, we have to choose the particular software and we can get the output. So in my today's session, I am going to discuss about how the flight planning has to be done, what is the importance of setting the image overlapping, and how flighting has to be done. So this is the drone. I think many of them see that these drones. But if you ask anyone where you have seen the drone, means simply everyone tell that in marriage function we can see that one drone is flying over above us and it is taking the photograph. But yes, that is the same drones, but the application is different. So just see here. This is the pictorial representation of the drone. Just I will tell you the components and what are all the functions of the each component. Before starting you as a drone pilot, you should know what are the components available in the drones, what are all the functions of the each component. So without that, if you start fly a drone, it will be a trouble for you. So these are the different components of the drone. So it consists of GPS, propellers, motors. It has a front LED, gimbal and camera, forwarding vision system, intelligent flight battery, aircraft status indicator, and rear vision system. You know that our drone is flying only with the help of the GPS only. That is, the drone is connected with the satellite by means of the GPS. So with that help only, we are flying the drone. Normally, the drone should be connected minimum of six satellites. Whenever if your drone connected with these six satellites only, you will get a strong GPS connection. Why it is GPS is very mandatory means now the drones are manufactured with the obstacle sensors. That is, the intelligent sensors are fixed with that. By having that, if your GPS connection is not strong, then the obstacle sensors will be disabled. There will be a chances of hitting the objects when you are flying the drone. So these propellers and motors are helped to fly your drone, that is the elevator from the ground to upward, and also front LEDs are provided to check with that any obstacles are happening before that, and the gimbal and camera. So you know that normally we will fly our drone at a altitude of minimum 100 to 150 feet. You know that if your drone is flying at a height of more than 200 feet, there will be a heavy wind flow is there. So these wind flow will affect the drone. The drone will start to accelerate. Okay, so to avoid that, because we know that when you are capturing the image, if you, for example, if you are taking the image from the mobile, if you shake your mobile means the camera clarity will be blurred. That is the reason also happens here in drone. If the drone is affected with the wind force means automatically it start to accelerate. Once if it accelerates, then automatically the image will be disturbed. So that only the gimbal will be provided. So this gimbal will provide a stable connection to the camera. Whenever the drone accelerates also, the picture clarity will not be affected. So the forward vision system is there and the intelligent flight battery. So this is the very important one options which is available in the latest drone, that is the intelligent flight battery. So before 3 to 4 years, if you employ the any drone for any particular work, in case is there is a battery percentage becomes low or battery percentage is reduced, automatically the drone will fall down at the instant place. So after arrival of this intelligent flight battery, what's happening there? In case when you are flying your drone for the particular applications, when your drone battery percentages comes below 40 percentage, it will start to alarm that in display. That is your battery percentages comes below 40 percentage. Then you have to bring back your drone to your home point and you have to change the battery. In case if you are not change the battery or if you are not doing that means once the battery percentage comes below 25 percentage, automatically your drone will come back to its home position. So without prior permission, without prior any information from you, automatically it will come back to your home point. So this is the one of the big advantages having the intelligent flight battery in drones. The aircraft status indicator will show you that your drone is in on or off position, and the rear vision system also provided that when, because you can fly your drone in the 360 degrees. So when it is rotated, you have to check with the rear portions also. So infrared system also provided here. The camera linking status indicators and link buttons also provided here. So all the captures, images and videos will be recorded in the my SD card only, because once you've completed the processing, you have to bring back the SD card in the desktop. Then you have to import the images. There will be a downward vision system is here. So this downward vision system will be useful for you are bringing back the back the drone to the ground position. All the vision system, all the sides, the obstacle sensors will be enabled. In downward, the obstacle sensors always it will be disabled only, because when you are bring back the drone to the ground point, if the downward obstacle sensors is enabled, means you are not able to bring back your drone. So that's why always your obstacle sensors in the downward systems will be disabled. So this is the way how you are installing the aircraft. So initially first you have to fix the propeller with the motor, and you have to your propeller, you can see that there will be two types of propellers will be provided here. So the one in the black color, the another one in the silver color. So why they are differentiating this color means automatically you know that the drone, when it have to be elevated, if all the propellers will be rotated in the one direction, means the drone will not elevate from its ground point. So that in drone we are fixing, it is the 4 propeller drone, that is the 4 motor having, it is having the 4 motors. So the 2 propellers will rotate in the clockwise direction, the another 2 propeller will rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. So you can see that there will be a option is available there, how to lock your propeller and how to unlock your propeller. You have to fix the silver ring with the silver dot motor, and you have to fix with your black rings with the black dot motor. So once if you completed this propeller installation, next you have to install the battery. So this is about the drone, and this is about the remote controller. So this is the pictorial representation of the remote controller. Again, you can see here in next slide, I will tell you what are the different components, what are the functions of the each component. So just see here. So just you can see here, so this is the displaying device, that is we have to connect our remote controller with any displaying device, either it may be an iPad or it may be any Android device. We have to connect it, because whenever you are piloting, you have to do a piloting or you have to fly a drone, you have to connect with any app which is available in the Play Store. So with that only you can fly your drone. So this is the display device, and you can see here 2 throttles are given here. So these 2 throttles will helpful you to fly your drone upward or downward, and also changing the camera position. So this is the on off button. You can see that there will be one of the RTS button is available here. So you can see here, these are the components of the controller. I think from that picture you are able to see that the antennas will be provided here. So these antennas will give you the connection between your aircraft to your remote controller. So in case if you find any difficulty between the connections between the antenna and the aircraft, means you have to bring back your drone. So the display screen, I already told you that either you can go with any Android or any tab or anything, you have to connect to the remote controller. There will be control sticker there which is called as a throttle. So these throttles will be used to control the drone, either you want to elevate or you have to bring back the drone downward. And also if you want to change the camera angle position, means you have to use that particular throttle. There is another option is available in remote control itself, that is the RTS button. So this RTS button is nothing but return to home. I already told you, no, in case when you are flying your drone, it is not possible to continue the work progress. If there is any environmental problem is happening there, any climatic change is happening there, or if you are not getting the proper connection with your drone, means by pressing this button you can bring back your drone to your home point. Because a inbuilt drone this is, so that whenever you are flying your drone, where you are starting your drone, that will be stored by the drone, that is it is a home point, that is it has stored as a home point. If you press the return to home button, means automatically it will come back to your home position. And next it will battery level LEDs are there. There will be 4 LEDs are there. The 4 LEDs show that each LED point will show that 25% of the battery level. So it is always advisable that if it is remote controller or drone, whatever it may be, you have to fly your drone up to the battery level of 40% only. So below that, if you fly your drone, means there will be a chances of failure. And it will show a status LED. So it will show you that whether your remote control is in on or off position. There will be a power button is available. The RTH LED also available here. In case if you are pressing the RTH button means initially it will be in green color. It will blink in the green color. If your RTH button is on, your drone is coming back to its home point means it will start to blink in the red color. The speakers also provided with the remote controller. It will show you that if there is any problem is happening in the drone. So it will show you and it will alarm that the battery percentage coming below 40 percentage. So how to prepare the remote controller I have shown here. You can see that initially it will be in this position. First you have to fix the antennas, then you have to keep the display device in this position, then you have to connect your remote controller with the display device. Yeah, this is the very important thing in the remote controller. So before flying the drone, you have to keep your drone, your remote controller in any these three modes. So which is available in the remote control itself, P, S and the A mode. So the P represents the positioning mode and S represents the sports mode and A represents the altitude mode. Normally your GPS signal is very strong. You can fly your drone with the positioning mode because in this positioning mode your all the obstacle sensors will be enabled, so you can avoid the hitting of the obstacles by the drone. And second, in case if you are finding that if you want to fly your drone with your own speed or with your, you can see that normally drones can fly up to the 72 kilometers per hour with the 45 miles per hour. In case if you want to fly your drone without the obstacle sensors, means you can fly the drone with the sports mode also. That is, you can see that some of the drones will be used for the drone racing. So in that case, they will not fly the positioning mode or altitude mode. They will fly in the sport mode only. And third mode, it is called as the altitude mode. So this altitude mode will be enabled. For example, in case if you want to fly your drone in the particular mode, for particular altitude. For example, if you want to fly your drone at the altitude of 150 feet, the altitude should not be changing. Means you have to fly your drone in the altitude mode only. Why this altitude mode is very important, that whenever you are flying the drone above the 200 feet or 300 feet, there will be a one wind force is there. So due to that, there will be changes in the altitude. Once if you fix with that altitude mode, means whatever the wind force is there, according to that it will change the drone altitude and it will fly the change altitude for the entire process. So this is the way how to start or stop the motor. So if you bring back the drone throttles in the inner direction or outer direction, the drone will be started. Again you can elevate that. Again if you want to bring back the drone to the down position and if you have to switch off, means again you have to follow the same procedure. So these are the some of the intelligent flight mode which is available in the DJI Phantom 4 Pro model. Why I am showing this Pro model means most of the civil engineering companies, they are employing these type of drones only for the surveying operations because it is easily available in the market with the very less cost. The drone cost is around 1 to 1.5 lakhs only. So some of the intelligent flight modes are available here. That is the active track, waypoints, tap fly. So this will be useful for making the waypoint. For example, if you want to fly your drone at the some of the terrain areas, means so if you fix the altitude of the 100 feet, means you can see that at the steep of the terrain, the height will be less. When coming, the height will be more. When coming to the mid of the terrain, the height will be less. So if you fix with this terrain mode, means automatically with respect to the slope of the terrain, the altitude will be changed according to that. So the active track will be used for example, when we are flying the drones, in case if we want to take the surveying operations of highways, highways roads, for you can see that the highway surveying will be prolonged up to 10, 100 and 200 kilometers. So we cannot make a waypoint and bring back the drone. So instead of what we can do is we can actively track any point. For example, when you are sitting the moving vehicle, you are operating the remote control means by tapping this active track, so the drone will start to follow you. So this will be very useful for when you are employing the drone for highways. So these are the some of the sensors we are normally using in the drones. I told you know that in my first slide itself, with respect to the sensor using the drone, the cost will be higher. So with respect to the application of you have to select the particular sensor. You can see that there will be different sensors available: visual, video, thermal, multispectral, hyperspectral, and lidar sensors there. If you want to get capture high resolution images and videos, you can go with the visual and the video sensors. If you want to track the relative surface temperature of the land and object means, you have to go with the thermal sensor. Or if you want to if you want to capture the images of anything is invisible to the human eyes, so you can use the multispectral. For identifying the any minerals or vegetations or other materials, you have to go with the hyperspectral. Or if you want to collect the high quality, or if you want to take the data of the any water bodies means, you can go with the lidar sensor. So you can see that these are some of the pictures taken by the different sensors. You can see that in lidar sensor, in some of the chimneys is smoking, so that also we can easily identify that it will be used for the environmental monitoring. So you can see that in lidar sensor, you can see that there will be a greenery is also available. So by having that, we can easily identify that how the crop is, what is the health of the crop also we can easily monitor. So these are some of the softwares we are using for drone piloting and also the post processing. Participants, kindly mute your audio. Participants. Yes, thank you. So these are some of the software we are using for the pre-processing and also the post-processing: Pix4D, Context Capture, Agisoft, Propeller Network, QGIS, Autodesk, DraftSetter, and 3D Reshaper. So with respect to your requirement, you can choose any of these one software for your drones. So these are some of the mobile application we are normally using for flying the drone. So drone deploy, DJI Go 4, so GPS Essential, Google Earth Pro. So this drone deploy will be helpful for making the flight plan, and DJI Go 4 app will be used for making the changes in the drone and also the flighting option. So this GPS Essential is very mandatory because that I already told you that your drone is connected with the satellite only. So you have to check with that whether your drone is properly have a very good connection with the satellite. If your drone is fixed with connected with more than 6 satellites only, it is advisable to fly your drone. Otherwise, there will be chances of failure. So this Google Earth Pro also will be used for making the flight planning. So in case if you want to make a flight planning of any particular land, you are not able to go and make the waypoint in particular area. So in that area, by having the Google Earth Pro itself, in Google Earth itself, we can make the flight planning. That is, we can mention the boundaries of that particular area and we can complete the project. So we can see that how we have to create the tracking. So in the app itself, you can see that there will be a main menu is there. You have to select the track. So from selecting the track, you have to create the waypoints. So the creating the waypoints, we can do it in the different points. So that is how means if you are able to go physically and inspect that land means you can fix the point, because in some points there will be a border problem, that is the boundary problem between the two adjacent land. So in that circumference, what you can do is you can go to the site physically and you can accurately fix the point where you have to make the boundary. So by having that, you can make the waypoints. So by according that, you can make the flight planning also. So in another way, what you can do is in Google Earth, you can make the flight planning. That is, what are the boundaries of that particular land. By having that, you can import, you can make it as the KML file. That KML file, you have to import it in the DJI Go 4 app. So you can see that how we are made the flight planning using the drone deploy. I already told you that you can make the flight planning by means of the two methods. Either you can go with the waypoints or you can make with the Google Earth, so that is the, you can also, you can make the KML flight. By having the KML flight, you can make the flight planning. So just see here. So this is the one of the project done by our final year students, that is called as Bhumi Certificate Lake. So they have completed this project. This is around the 25 acres. So this is the image of the drone deploy app. Once if you made the open the app, you can see the details here. You can see here. This will give you the details in how much time requires to complete the project, what is the area of the bounded waypoints, how many images it will take, how many batteries are required, and what is the altitude of your drone, what altitude you are going to fly your drone. So this is the very, very important thing. For example, if you want to fly your drone, you are having the only one battery, means by increasing the flight altitude, you can complete this entire project within the 14 minutes, and also the with the images of 217 images. In case if you want to get the more accurate, or it is very tedious to fly at the 200 feet, means you can fly your drone at the height of 100 feet itself. When you are flying the drone at the 100 feet, the battery will, number of batteries will be increased, the image capturing also get increased, the time consumptions also get increased. Can you anyone tell me, or can you answer it in the chat box, why the image number is getting increased when you are decreasing the flight altitude? Can you anyone answer for this? Any idea? When I am decreasing the flight altitude, that is the drone altitude for 100 feet, the images will become around 400 to 500. Can you anyone tell me what is the reason? Can you able to answer for this? So you can post it in the chat box also. So reason for this? Okay, I will tell you. So you can see here, so this is the waypoint and boundaries of that given land. You can see that, so this green color will show you the flight path. So in this flight path only the drone is going to fly. You can see that if I fix the altitude of 200 feet, means what will happen, means it will cover the more area, so that your images will be less. If you fly the drone at the feet at the lower altitude, for example 100 feet, means what will happen is it will cover only a smaller area, so that only the imaging, the number of images getting increased. So the obstacle avoidance also available here. You can see that. So this obstacle avoidance, why here they are given here is when you are flying the drone in empty land, means there will be no problem. In case if you are flying the drone in the any constructed area or near to any building, means what will happen, means sometimes the shadow of the building has been detected as a obstacle, so that your drone will not fly over that. So in that circumference, what you have to do, that you have to disable the obstacle sensors and you have to fly your drone. In advanced flight setting, you can enhance the 3D also. I already told you that in case if you are flying in the empty land, means you don't want to take the height of that any building or height of any object. In case if you are flying your drone, if you want to measure the height of any building, means you have to enhance the 3D. So next one will be the computation of the drone flight height. You have to calculate that, you have to visit the particular land where you have to conduct a survey. So according to that, you have to fix the what altitude your drone have to fly. Because in some rural areas, you can see that there will be some of the towers will be there. The tower's height will be normally 200 to 250 feet. So in that area, if you fly your drone, means there will be a chances of misleading. There will be a chances of failure of the drone. So in that area, you have to fix the altitude according to the height of the obstacle which is present there. And next to one important term is overlapping. So there will be two types of overlap: forward overlap and side overlap. I already told you that when you are flying the drone, it will follow the flight path. When your drone is flying in the first line of the flight path, it will take the image of both on the left and right of the line, and when it is flying in the second line, you can see that it will already capture the image which is taken already in the drone flying in the first line. So in that area, what will happen is, if you not properly mention the what is the overlap percentage in the post processing, when you stitching the images, there will be a problem may happen. So this will lead to the failure of the post processing. So that only it is advised that you have to provide the proper side and forward overlap. Here the forward overlap is nothing but percentage of overlap between the top and bottom of your image, and side overlap is the percentage of overlap between the sides of the image. Normally you have to fix the 5 to 15 percentage of normally you have to provide 75 to 65 overlap percentage. In case if you are flying the drone in the lower altitude, you have to increase your overlap percentage by 5 to 15 percentage. So maximum you can fly your drone at the speed of 72 kilometers per hour only. So if you don't give any options in the drone deploy options with respect to the area, it will automatically detect what flight speed it has to be done. So this is the DJI Go app. So in that you can see this. So this is the one of the project done by us. You can see this is the project land. So it will give you a what is the GPS connection. In case your GPS connection is very strong, it will fly. It will show you in the green color, and also you can see that the position of your drone, and it will show you the what are the number of these satellites connected with this. And also it will show you that what is the battery percentage of your drone, and also from that you can easily identify that whether you have a sufficient amount of battery. And you can see this, you can see that HD. So this HD will show that you are taking the image or videograph with respect to either HD or any normal pixels. So you can see here the return to home button is available, and also it will show you the flight plan where your drone is flying with respect to the Google Earth. That is normally in Google Map we can see that whenever we are going anywhere, if you tap the Google Map, it will show you where you are moving. So like that, here also you can see here in what distance the drone is flying, in what altitude is drone is flying, what is the velocity, that is what is the speed of drone is, everything we can monitor in this display device itself. So this is the displaying shutter. You can capture the image, or if you want to record the video, that will be you can do it here. So this is about the drone, how the piloting has to be done. So it is the vast area. We cannot complete it in the within the shorter time. So just I'm giving the I have given the outline of this. So next moving to that, some of the guidelines has been given by the Ministry of the Civil Aviation. That is what are the things you have to do and what are the things you should not do when you are flying the drone. I think this also explained in yesterday by Mr. Arun Prakash. So whenever you are purchasing the drone for any operation, you have to register your drone in the digital sky platform. That is, you have to get the OIN and DIN number. So the OIN is nothing but owner's authentication number, and the DIN is nothing but drone authentication number. So you have to get the proper permission whenever flying your drone. So you have to make the flight plan, and you have to register in the digital sky platform. You have to get the approval. So you have to fly your drone in the daytime only, and also it is advisable to fly your drone with the good weather conditions only, because your drone is made up of the electronic goods. So in case any raining is happen means there will be chances of failures. And also it is always advisable that you have to fly your drone with the VLOS. Here the VLOS is nothing but visual line of sight. You have to visualize your drone, or you have to visual your drone. That is within the range only you have to fly your drone. Normally you can fly your drone at a circumference, that is a perimeter of 4 kilometers only. So you will get a very good connection between remote controller and drone. So whenever you are flying the drone, you have to inform it to the local police station. In case any problem is happened, any failure has been happened, immediately you have to inform it to the DGCA or local police station. So these are some of the don'ts listed by the DGCA. That is, you should not fly your drone 50 feet for the nano category, and you should not fly your more than 200 feet for micro and small category. So normally it is advisable that you have to fly your drone at a altitude of 400 feet only. You should not fly it near the aircraft or airports and heliports. You should not fly your drone over the group of people and publics, because you know that normally the drones will fly at the propellers will be rotate at the 1200 rpm. So just imagine that in case of any failure is happen when you're flying the drone over the group of people, if the fall down means it will lead to the death also. And also you have to inform that you should not you should not carry any hazardous materials in drone, and a drone person who is piloting, you should not influence of any drugs or alcohol. And also it is mandatory that you should not fly your drone from the any moving vehicle, ship or aircraft. Why it is very important is whenever you are flying your drone, you can see that it will be registered it is home point. If you are not able to fly your drone from the any, if you are flying the from any moving object means it will not register it home point, it will make to the failure. So if you have time means you can go and see here. So this is the website which is given by our DGCA, that is the Minister of Civil Aviation, Digital Sky. So here you can see that there will be what are the do's and don'ts, what are the latest amendments, what are the latest rules and regulations are formed by the Civil Aviation. Everything will be available here. In case if you are planning to fly your drone means you have to visit this site. So these are the some of the projects done by us. So this is the contour map of the project. We can fix the contouring images with the FMB plan itself. So just I will show you the pictures. So what are the projects we have completed. So these are the outputs we have taken from the drones. So just you can see this. So some of the pictures and some of the projects so far we have completed. So how to make the images and how to post processing will be explained by Dr. Gulshan Taj in next session. One second, my slides are changing. Yeah. Yes. So up to this, I stop my presentation. The remaining sessions will be carried out by Dr. Gulshan Taj. So if you have any queries at the end of the session, you can ask. Thank you. Participants, if you have any queries now itself, you can ask. Participants, if you have any queries in the drone piloting, you can ask me now. If no more queries, shall I wind up the session? Organizers.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us the valuable insights on the topic. It helps us in developing deep and new insights into the drone domain. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Amrita. The participants, any queries on drone piloting? Speaker is waiting for otherwise you can message in the chat box also. Okay, thank you, Dr. Prabu sir, for your experience you're sharing on this platform. So due to this pandemic, we are not able to give hands-on training to the participants directly. But next time we will try to. But next time we will try to do a hands-on training directly to the participants. So thank you for your experience sharing on this platform, sir. Thank you so much. Ma'am, next speaker, Dr. Gulshan Taj, ma'am.
Yes, Shalini ma'am. Ma'am, shall I open my presentation?
Ma'am, 1 second, please, ma'am.
Okay.
After a short introduction about speaker to the participants, we will start the session. Amrita, over to you,
Yes,
Amrita.
ma'am. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, participants, now without any further ado, our next presenter is one of the iconic and recognizable member of our institution, Dr. Gulshan Taj, MNA, Associate Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Sona College of Technology. Dr. Gulshan Taj has teaching and research experience of more than 15 years and completed her PhD at Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee in the year 2014 in the area of functionally graded materials. She published more than 50 papers in national and international conferences and journals. Her research areas includes structural health monitoring, remote sensing, green buildings, and advanced composite materials. She was the recipient of the Best Women Engineer Award from IEI in the year 2017. She obtained fund from various funding agencies such as IEI, CSIR, and SERB to conduct national level workshops and seminars. Her projects won various awards from NDRF, ISTE, and AICTE New Delhi. She guided the projects that won ISTE Best Project Award at national and state level on drone surveying and digital image processing. She delivered webinars and talks in many reputed engineering colleges for the benefits of the engineering fraternity. With his introduction, I proudly present our next resource person, Dr. M.N.A.Gulshan Taj, to edify us with her proficiency on the topic hands-on training on drones. Ma'am, we welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Amrita, for your nice welcome introduction. And also, like to thank the coordinators for rendering me this opportunity to share some of my experience on drone technology, especially in the post-processing stage. So let me, without any delay, let me share my screen. And I hope my screen is visible. Shalini ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's visible, ma'am.
Okay. So it was like to start with drone surveying, because this FTP you will be acquiring the information on various digital tools right from day one. We are talking about like drone surveying, 3D printing, and today you had a session on Internet of Things and structural health monitoring and BIM, and yesterday we had a session. So one or other way, all these technologies are going to drive the entire future construction industry. There is no doubt on that, because especially after this pandemic situation, when you see, the digital tools are going to dominate the entire process, whether it may be in construction industry, or it may be a manufacturing sector, or it may be a medical industry, or it may be a logistic industry. It could be anything. But these digital tools are going to offer the immense user experience and immense kind of applications to all the users or all the stakeholders who are involved in this process. So that way, the drone technology, you might have heard from the earlier speaker that the drone technology will have a wide scope by offering good accuracy and by saving the time for the people or time for the user. So when you talk about drone technology, there are two things that we need to concentrate. Number one is the drone pilot, which was covered by Dr. Prabhu. So he will, I think he covered almost all the aspects like what is a drone and what are the different components of drone. And you have a different types of drone also in the market, and you have wide number of softwares that could be used for the post processing stage. And also he has explained about the different rules and regulations along with the speaker Arun Prakash. He has also explained the many of the concepts related to drone surveying. So with that sufficient knowledge or basic fundamental knowledge, let me share some of the information about the image processing, which is the second phase of any drone surveying process. So since the coordinator rightly pointed out, because of this online FDP, we could not able to offer you the hands-on training session, but still I could able to share the the real video of how the post-processing will happen step by step and how it should be carried out in a right way. So that way I could able to share the realistic information how the post processing will happen in case of a drone survey. So now the time is 12:32. So I have half an hour time in my hands. So let me try within that half an hour uh, to cover the entire post-processing quickly so that you will have a brief understanding of what is post-processing and how to carry out the post-processing. Especially in this case, we have software, which was one of the explanation. Our previous speaker. So of course, there are enough softwares are available in the market, and you could go with the as a budget. You can go. Let me quickly explain all these contents of today's presentation. So why the post-processing has to be carried out? Number one is because whatever image you take it from the drone, it is purely a raw image. So raw image in the sense like when you take a selfie, okay? For example, if you take a selfie in your mobile phone, so you will have a nice picture of yourself or nice picture of your family, having the different features of your face. Right? It's okay, but what is the shape of my face, or what are all the features, whether my eyes are black or brown or mix of black and brown, and all those information, the selfie will not give. This is only an image kind of thing. If you want to further extract the information, you need to do some process, right? Here also same thing happens. What are the images that are captured by drone? They are purely the raw images. So the raw images are not sufficient in order to get the exact information of the object or a site or a surveying place, whatever may be. So that case, I need to process the image so that I could able to extract the micro and macro features of the site. That is the main reason why we are going for a post-processing in drone surveying. So then let us understand what is post-processing. So the post-processing, basically what happens is the 2D image has been converted into a 3D orthomosaic image or a 3D map or a 3D models. It could be anything, right? So basically the 2D images are converted into 3D images. Then how to do post-processing? Of course, plenty of softwares are available in the market, and you can you can choose any software as per your requirement and as per your feasibility. Then use that software to do the post-processing, and all the post-processing softwares are very simple to learn and very simple to implement. And what kind of images you develop? As I mentioned already, it may be a contour map, it may be a 3D orthomosaic map, or it is a 3D elevation map, or it may be a 3D model, or it is maybe a surface map. It could be anything, right? So what kind of output you want to make basically depends on the client's requirement as well as your nature of the project. Then how to interpolate is the big challenge in any post-processing stage, because you have lot of data in your hand. Just imagine if your drone takes a single image, it is having a multiple data. If you are flying your drone for a period of say for 10 minutes, it will be capturing a lot of images which contain a lot of data. Again, interpretation of data is very crucial, and of course it plays a big role in deciding what kind of output images you need to develop. So these kinds of contents I'm going to quickly cover within this short period of time. So as I said, it is a conversion of 2D orthomosaic 2D images into a 3D models and surface models. So this is what we call as orthophotograph in drone surveying. So it is basically a aerial photograph. So for example, if you want to create a 3D model of this historical building, the drone will try to flew at different angles and different altitudes. So at the end of the process, what happens? The multiple points are captured so that no single feature of the building will be missed out during the process. And finally, you will be able to create a beautiful 3D model of the historical monument structures. What happens basically here? So the post-processing is generally a concept of photogrammetry where the images will overlap together so that you will be getting a beautiful final output of your image. It may be a temple, it may be a dam structure, it may be a residential building, it may be a commercial building, whatever. The concept here used is like how our brain uses the information. Once our eyes will be notifying some objects or some incident in front of us, right? The same concept. If suppose there is a fire, so my eyes will try to interpret there is a fire in front of me, so I have to run out from here. So what happens immediately? The information will be sent to the brain. So the brain will try to understand that I should not stand there for a long time because there is a fire is catching up. So I have to run away from there. So that is what happens, right? So similarly, in the concept of photogrammetry, the entire image are overlapped together so that the final information could be extracted in a nice way. So what are the type of image basically we develop is nothing but the elevation and height information of a building, or it may be a river body, or it may be a mountain, or it may be a any monument structure. It could be anything, right? So you will basically capturing the elevation or height information. Then the texture. So the river bodies will have a blue texture with the mountain will have a brown texture. So all those textures can be captured, whether it was a coarse structure or it will be fine grained structures. All the textures can be captured, and the shape, of course. What is the shape of your object? Whether it is a rectangle, not all the time the buildings are rectangle, right? They may be any irregular shape also, and there is a combination of different shapes also. That case, what is the shape of the building and what is the color for every point on the map or every point on the object? All these informations can be or available in your final output. So you will be trying to extract the elevation, texture, shape, and color of every point on the map, so that final interpretation will be done in a nice way. For example, let me explain with this small example. So if you want to capture this entire area, for example, so I need to take my drone in 5 locations which are already, I'm fixing the location, and finally I will be trying to fly my drone over these locations. So what happens, for example, this is the image 1. So in image 1, the different features of the land, for example, the river body and the corner of the land, agricultural land, and forest land is available. All those features are carried out here, and it will be made in picture 1. When you go for picture 2, again the same process happens with different points in addition to the lapping points. You can see here this point has been covered in image 1 also, again in image 2 also. By doing so, the overlapping will be confirmed and any feature of the object will not be missed out here. That is what happening here. Okay. So by doing so, and I will be continuing the process for the entire 6 images. So at the end, what happens means all the 6 images are overlapped together so that all the features are captured in a nice way using the drone, and finally you will be getting a output of your site or if your project based on the location or site, whatever it may be, right? So this is how the drone captures the segment picture and finally combines the pictures by the process called post-processing. So the only job of the drone is to take the image, that's it. Okay. Then you have to transfer the images to the laptop with the help of the memory card which was inserted in the drone during the flying process. Then you have to process those images by using the more softwares. Okay. So this part I would like to skip because this is least important. I need to cover some of the topics which are very important. So here let me give you a small break and just uh, quick puzzle to the audience. So there are some six hidden words are available in this picture. Can you please identify those hidden words and write it in the chat box so that there will be some interaction with you from my side. So you can have a close look on all the objects which are there. Some kids are picking the apple and the truck is moving from the farm and lot of beautiful sceneries available here. So just read out the words and let me know the six hidden words here. And let me see who are all the active participants today in this FTP. Quickly, all come on. Wake up if you are in other work also, please wake up and answer for the question, answer for the puzzle. Shalini ma'am, if any answer is coming, please read out for me, ma'am. So, any answer from the participants? Even you can unmute and you can say. So, I could. Interesting to see some of the answers from the participants. Sudhavji and Divyashri, Sasikumar Mani sir, and Apple. Yeah, and form is the right answer. And again, form. What could be the other answers? Any guessings? Because apple is identified and form is identified. I told you there are six hidden words. You guys have identified only two. What are the remaining hidden words? Let me share the screen again.
Apple.
Yeah. Burn, apple.
Farm, apple, barn, sun, and yeah, rest. You have to share the image.
Yeah, I have shared now. Pick, you told pick, right, sir?
Yeah,
Pick,
four
pick
right.
is here.
Farm,
Yeah, pick, pick, yeah, pick is here, form is here. You can see sun, SU and sun, at the hair of the boy or a girl. Sun, SU and sun. And apple is here and burn is here. Thank you so much for your active responses. So with that, let me.
Yes.
Yeah, now you can.
Something is written.
Thank you so
vehicle,
much.
Vehicle.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And now you can mute your mic. Thank you for
and cow. So six.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
On that one, yeah, six.
Yes. Cow also there here in the tree. Cow is written here. Yeah. We could successfully able to identify six hidden words. Thank you for all the responses.
Yes.
And these were all some of the case studies. Quickly, I will be just going through the case study because the time availability is very less. It's already 12:45. So without any information, just I will quickly run the slides so that at least you could be able to visualize the pictures. And this is the topographic survey done for airbase, and even you could do the thermal imagery part for by using the drone surveying and topographic survey, and the large dam structures or other large structures can be inspected by using the drone survey. And this is some of the 3D imagings that are developed by the drone can be integrated with the BIM model, and all the informations can be interchanged so that you will be get a final integration of your the integration of the project. And you will it is like geo-referenced topographic plans, and 3D modeling of the dome, because manual inspection or manual maintenance of the dome structures are really tedious to do, because you have to climb via larger heights, which may leads to a lot of accidents, right? So that case you can fly a drone over there, but you have to ensure the connectivity so that the drone will be flew at a greater heights and greater angles, so that the entire 3D model of the dome can be captured. So this case study also I need to skip this. They have mentioned already. So let me have here. So even the railway tracking can be put under drone, and they can be monitored for any derailing problems, or any dislocation of any joints can be observed, so that the rail accidents can be avoided in a huge way. So that way the drone can play a big role, and you can find the volume calculation, stock volume pile calculation, the entire filling and cutting area, especially at the mining sites and large construction sites, can be done. So the drone deploy is the software which I would like to use it. So let me on my audio and share my screen again, so that I can show my audio. Yeah, just give me a couple of seconds. Yeah, my video is ready.
Deploy in the agricultural field.
Can anyone confirm me the audio is coming from the video? Could you able to see the video, participants?
Mom, yes, mom.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So
By the end of this video, you guys are going to know how to analyze.
Let's start by heading to dronedeploy.com.
So this is where the website you have to land in, that is dronedeploy.com. So I request Amrita to type this website in a chat box, so that all the participants could note it down and they use it later on, after this FDP. It was like www. Amrita, please type it in the chat box for dronedeploy.com. 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 So you will be getting the free for a 14 days or 30 days trial period. You can try it, for then you can later on purchase, or if your institution is having the Bentley licensed products, you can avail the facility of contest capture software. That is what the software we are also using in our institution.
If you guys don't have an account yet, we're going to go ahead and click the plus sign here.
So first thing is, you need to locate your area, your project site, or your target location into Google Map, and you need to fix up your location.
With map light, the location of where this pulls on the map is going to be your closest cell tower that you're using to pull your internet off of. So we're going to go ahead and drag this up to the field that we're going to be flying today, which is right.
So just a minute. So once I identify the location, you can just move your grid over the area, and you can mark the boundaries. Okay, and also parallelly you can see the left-hand side panel where your drone flying time, that is 3 minutes 24 seconds, has been given. That within that time it could be able to cover the area of 5 acres, and it could be able to get 31 images from one battery which is available, and the flight altitude has been fixed as 245 feet. So once your area has been, for example, this is your site area which has to be monitored, then you can move your grid area so that you will be covering all these locations. Let us watch how the area is covered. You can just drag out the corner points so that no points are missed out during the surveying process. So that way your entire boundary will be captured. So then you should check if some of the preliminary data like side lab has to be given for a minimum of 65% and for front lab can be given 75%. The overlapping is very important task in drone surveying because until unless you do overlapping, the right image will not be captured. So you have to give the value of 65 to 75% as a side lab and front lab respectively. And also you can fix up your flight direction. What is the direction you want to fly your drone, and you can fix up the speed and the waypoints, whether you want to start at a single waypoint or a multiple waypoints. Those once you confirm the data, then you can check with all the drone components and the battery and the availability of the SD card, and you have to correct your gimbal camera. All those once you make all those corrections, your drone will be ready to fly. So I can adjust the values just by doing dragging operations. So now the drone is ready. So before flying a drone, as Dr. Prabhu has rightly pointed out that you need to make a flight plan. Plan is something like plan which will show the entire path of the drone, which is the starting point and where is the ending point, and what is the track the drone needs to follow. All those informations are nothing but a flight plan. So you need to make a flight plan again before flying a drone, and you have to make your checklist whether all the checklists are confirmed by the person who is going to fly a drone, like permissions are obtained from the local bodies subjected to the rules and regulations of the local body as well as the ministry, and your drone components and the camera and the controller and the flight plan. So once you check with all the operations, you can just give a start button to the drone. So your drone will try to fly. So you can see here, this is my starting point and the drone start flying from here. As the drone moves away from the starting point, the parameters that are shown in the left hand side panel of your software, that is the battery and the number of images and flight height and the speed, everything changes. You could have a close look on the left hand side or my cursor. So once this drone start moving, all the parameters are getting changed. See, initially it was 19, now the photographs are 30, and the speed is increasing, and again the height is showing. The time period also changes, and this is the snapshot of the drone aerial view. The drone captures basically, and finally the drone comes to the same starting point, provided the user needs the same point again. Then your drone tries to come out. We land in the same position from where it has started. So it is like a camera or a mobile phone, how you transfer the photos from your SD card or memory chip, right? Similarly, you have to transfer all your photos from the memory card to your laptop or a desktop where you want to carry out the post-processing operations. So these are all some of the images that are captured by the drone. And at the end of the process, before beginning the post-processing, you can eliminate the photos which you find that they are not feasible for the post-processing stage, like missing out of information or the photos with low pixel values. All those things you can eliminate before doing the process just by simply selecting and deleting the photos. So now I would like to take all these photos to the post-processing stage. So then I am going to select these photos and I need to import these photos in a drone deploy site. Yeah, this is what my location of my site or my project. So once you fed all the photos into the software, you will be getting a lot of options like 2D map and 3D model and plant health and elevation, and of course the location and distance and area and volume. All those options will be coming out. So if I want to get a 2D map, of course you can click the 2D map. The 2D map will be created. For example, in this case, 3D model has been created once you click on the 3D. Then this is your site and you can just zoom it out and zoom in and you can just flip around your site and you can show all the features to the clients. For example, if there is any progress in the construction project, even that you can mark it and you can show to the clients that this is what the progress happened for so many days. So those kinds of features are available in the software with the help of a 3D models. And sometimes the drone can also be used for agriculture purpose. And if you want to calculate the plant health which is available over my land, I can give the plant health. So once I click this option, the plants which are dead, it means red color plants which do not have any chlorophyll content on that, can be shown in a red color, and the green color, dark green, is the healthy plants. It means they will be having more chlorophyll content on the leaf. So those kinds of information can also be extracted and derivation can be obtained. Here you can see a chart at the left hand side of my screen where the values are put up on the graph. So for each color the value can be extracted. Again, this is the elevation map showing the elevation level of the various points which are there in the site. So you can see the highest elevation of 57.62, lowest elevation of 10.64 in terms of feet, and which is given here. So if we want to extract the single or multiple points, those points alone can be extracted. That is what. So this is how the entire process. And if I want to get a location of any single point, even I can click on that and you can get the coordinates. So you can see here, this is my point and the coordinates are 42.14 and minus 89.41 and the elevation is given here. Likewise, you can click on the area and the volume option so that you will be calculating the area and volume of the particular grid area. And let me show you that also. So if I want to calculate the area, or else if I want to, this case I want to calculate the length. So I have to choose 2 points where the length has to be calculated. So the moment I click on the 2 points, the data will be shown up here, right? At the left hand side of the panel, the horizontal length is 279 and the surface length is 280 and the slope is given here and the elevation profile also given. In the case, if you want to calculate the area, make it a rectangle or a square, what you want, and you have to pick 4 points. So if you pick the points, 4 points, then the area will be given. So this is how you can go for multiple options or multiple outputs, and also you can import or export the files from the multiple softwares. Like if you do any process in QGIS, which is a basically remote sensing software, open source software. So then you can extract the data from there to this context capture software, and you can try to make the objects and you can try to create a model. Even that model can be easily imported. So all those options are available, and both import and export options are available with the multiple softwares. So this is how the entire post-processing stage happens. But because of shortage of time, we could not able to show you all the outputs, and if time permits before the completion of FTP, if any free slot is available, then we'll try to utilize that slot and let you show you more examples on that. So this is what the entire post-processing happens basically. Yeah. With this, let me go back again to the presentation. So, and probably, and we are happy to share the information that in your institution, you can just share with them this data. So soon we will be sharing the brochure also. It is SCRB funded online training program only for the PG students. You will be benefiting a lot. Participants, any query from drone piloting as well as from the post processing, you can type it in a chat box, or else you can unmute yourself and you can ask. We are ready for the question and answer session. Hope this session has given you a basic information about drone piloting and how the post processing has to be done. If you need, because in Sona College Civil Department, we are having a Center of Excellence on drone surveying, and we are offering many online training programs also, and we are offering consultancy also. If you need any guidance or support for your students or to conduct online training programs, you can drop a mail to the program coordinator, and she will be conveying to us, and we are ready to offer any training programs for your institution students also. With this information, thank you all for listening for this entire session, and thank all the coordinators, Shalini ma'am and Dr. Prabu sir, and HOD Dr. R. Malati ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to share some of the information on drone post-processing survey. Thank you all. Any questions from the participants? Okay, if there is no question, no problem. You can just note it down. Our email IDs, I will put my email ID in the chat box. So if later on, if you get any questions, you can just type it. We are ready to help you, especially in the case of drone survey. So Shalini ma'am, shall we close up the session?
Yes, ma'am. So I think no more queries from the participants, ma'am. So thank you so much for your explanation on post-processing of drones on this platform, ma'am. Thank you so much. And also thank you so much for your support through your presentation on this FTP, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So participants, do you have any queries, or can we wind up the session?